All right, Mr. Thomas. Well, thank you for watching that video with me. Our customers tell us they also appreciate understanding what caused these issues to be in the first place. So I want to show you some of those reasons. So the first one is going to be the clay bowl effect. And what that means is simply the soil around your house and your home is made up of this hard and dense clay. And when you dig that out, essentially you create a clay bowl. And as we have clay bowls or any pottery in our homes, we know that when you put liquids in them, they do not seep through, they hold very well. And that's what can trap and hold that water in here. And you can see this is a great example of what one of the causes could be. Another cause could be clogged footing drain. So when they build your home, they put in a footing drain around the whole footing of your home, also known as a French drain. And what can happen over time is that dirt, silt, sand could get into that drain and then clog it up, virtually making it useless, because then the water just seems to go over that and then get into what the next part of the problem could be, which is cold joints. And a cold joint is when they are building your home, they have the footing, then you have the footing wall, and if they are not, those things are laid at different times, and because they are laid out and poured and dried at different times, those joints do not create a waterproof seal. So there are slight, very thin gaps in them, and as we know, water will always find its way through these gaps, and that's what will start seeping in through those gaps and then into your basement. And in your case, I do know that you have these cinder block walls. And to give you an example here, this is what can happen once we start to drill holes in the, when we talk about our solution in a little bit here. This is what kind of water can be inside your walls. As you can see, that is an excessive amount of water that is just living in your walls. But not to worry, we are going to get that out of there and provide you a really good solution for that. So historically, there have been a few options contractors have used to attempt to fix this problem. Those options are painted on coating. Another option is downspout extensions. Another one is exterior excavation. Another one is interior footing drain. And then the last one is going to be a baseboard drain. So I'll go over those with you here. So the painting on coating is usually the kind of go-to fix. I wouldn't be surprised if I go down there and I've already seen some spots that were already painted. It's the cheapest go-to option, but it is like putting a Band-Aid on a leaking swimming pool. It just will not hold up or sustain. Over time, the water, the pressure that's behind the wall will push through the sealant, and also the sealant can become moldy because it's wet. It can become moldy and just basically start to fall apart. So it's not a very good option. The next one would be a downspout extension. I would recommend this. I did see a few around your house already, and Mr. Thomas, regardless on whether we do business together today or not, I would recommend getting some more of these downspout extensions to your house, because what this is doing is it's pulling water away from your home, especially when it rains. It takes all that runoff, and instead of just running right into the ground right next to your foundation, it is going to send that water out. And I do recommend that, but this again is not a solution for the problem, because the main source of water that's coming into your home isn't coming from above the ground. It's actually coming from inside the ground itself. Just like we had talked about with the clogs, the interior excavations are intensive, and so these are an example of what those clog drains could look like. And so some of the options are they go and they put those same footing drains outside your home, they put them inside your home. And as we just discussed, They can clog. It's not if they can clog, it's when they will clog. And that will happen again. So you're going to go through all this effort to dig out inside of your basement to create space for these things. And within a few years, the problem's just going to return. So this is not a permanent solution. And again, I want to emphasize, I only want to offer you permanent solutions for your problem. Another one would be a baseboard drain. This is going to be similar to what our product I'm going to show you here in a minute is, but it is not. This is an obsolete version. So this one is putting a baseboard drain all around the baseboard of your basement, and it takes some of the water that comes in and filters it to a sub pump. But the problem is this can only handle very small amounts of water, and this does not address the water that is coming through the walls, because a lot of this water can come through the walls and just simply run over these baseboard drains. So again, this is not a permanent solution. Now, I do want to get to the solution, and our engineering department has put together a short video clip that explains this at a very high level. And then we'll go over more of the details about what's going on. So I'm going to play that video for you now. That was a great video, right? I mean, I wanted to just clarify with you, were there any questions, or did that properly explain to you what the solution we're offering can do for you? Okay, great. And you can see that the solution that we're offering isn't a temporary solution. It is going to be a permanent solution. And to give you a couple of the options that we can pick from here, it's going to be AquaStop basement gutter system. And this is going to be similar, where we do create a trench around the basement of your home, and we install this AquaStop basement gutter system. And this can handle high volumes of water. This will also, I want to emphasize, this can also be paired with our aqua liner you can see here. And what that's going to do is going to address the wall seepage, the wall moisture that comes through, and that will take that moisture, drip it down into those gutters, and then send that water out to the triple pump. And that is another. These things kind of go all hand in hand. Our triple pump has, just like the name, it has 3 pumps. 2 main pumps are identical. You have one main pump. You have the second pump that will kick in and is set at a slightly higher level than the original pump if there's too much water or there's maybe too much silt built up at the bottom. And the third pump is a smaller pump, but it is running on a battery system. So just in case there's an outage and you don't have any electricity, you have 3 forms of backup that are going to ensure to get this water out and away from your home. And the way that it does that is by taking that water, and then we send it out at least 15 feet out of your home. So then that water, similar to those extension gutters, it takes that water and sends it away from the foundation of your home.